This conference will now be recorded.
I'll be all right.
I apologize.
Two feet, 10 years old, he jumped out. They said he's gonna be like junior, he could be a junior Olympian from right here.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
We're about to begin our meeting. Do I have any volunteers for the prayer this morning? If not, I do it. Let's all bow our heads. Dear Heavenly Father, thank you again for bringing us together today to do the business of the county. We ask you to help us to make the decision that are designed to help all our citizens of this county. And let us be good stewards of the things that are going on in this county. We thank you for these blessings and many others. Amen.
Amen.
Let's all stand for the pledge of allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
You may be seated.
Thank you.
Did his best to remove temptation.
There you go.
Okay, so Bert don't remove his temptation. We'll continue on with the meeting. We have a proposed agenda before you. What's the pleasure of the board?
Mr. Chairman, you should have on the last page of your. Okay, I got three zoning requests I'd like to add just for informational purposes. A proposal about some dirt road maintenance and a proposal for some roof gutters at Williams Gymnasium.
All right. Dave? Tim? Good. Eugene? Tony?
Good. I move that we approve the agenda with additions, Mr. Chairman.
I second.
Okay, there's been motion and second. All in favor by the show of hands. And that is unanimous. All our old minutes were emailed and mailed to to each of us. What's the pleasure of the board?
I so move. That we accept the old.
I second.
It has been second, motion and second. Are there any discussion on it before we vote on it? If not, all in favor by the show of hands, and that motion is carried unanimously. Mr. Steve is on you now.
Okay, we invited Coach Sanders and the Dooley County High School basketball team. Come on up, coach, if you would. At the last county commission meeting, y'all adopted a proclamation honoring the boys basketball team. They recently won the 2022-23 GHSA Region 4 Class A Division II championship and made it to the Elite Eight of the GHSA state playoffs. And got a proclamation the commissioner would like to present to y'all. I'll turn it over to you now. Do you want to say something or?
Yeah, I guess because I was there most of the season with them and half of the season. I tell you what, I've been around for a long time up there, and this was probably one of it ranked right up there with some of the best teams that we have ever had here in Dooley County, and I was just tickled to death. I think I was more tired of watching them than I was out there trying to do a little helping out, but trying to coach them along too. You know, they did a fantastic job. You know, you and your coaching staff, y'all did a great job. And all the time we don't get the recognition that we should. See, the guys may not appreciate it. They might be tired of coming down here. But you know what? It might be another group that come behind that don't never come down here. So you better take advantage of it while you can. Because you better, because see, I know how tough it was, as being a former coach. So if you keep coming, that means that you're doing something. Yeah. So I just want to say congratulations to to the coaches and the team in the school for doing a great job all season long. It was hard to get in that last game.
Yeah.
Man, it was if you didn't get there early, you didn't get in. I'm just sorry. Yeah, that was it. That shows how much everybody were behind. Again, congratulations. Let's go around the board and see what anybody in other board members might want to have something to say. Dave, Tim.
Congratulations, guys.
Congratulations, yeah.
Very
Former
deserved.
players, man,
Yeah.
they know how to play. So
Yeah.
they doing a good job coaching too. So
Well, hard work shows up. I
Yeah.
mean, it's great. Talent is great, but hard work shows up. It really shows up.
We see what the hard is. You got to have the hard for the kids to follow you.
that's the main thing.
Oh yeah. If you ain't a good leader, they ain't gonna follow. Keep up good.
Yeah. And with that being said, we have our principal, Mr. McBride, here as well. Basically, without the things that he allowed us to do as a coaching staff, that was a big reason why we were able to be successful because of our leader.
Right.
Right.
Mr. Chairman,
That's all right.
Mayor.
Yes, sir.
This brought up something in the history of Vienna that's important. Let's go back 100 years. Basketball mania came to Vienna in 1925 and lasted until 1930. We're 2023, 2 years away from that. And that was the Wonder Five basketball team. Vienna was known for that for years, and people talked about it. We're still talking about it 100 years later. People are talking about what happened with basketball. It was brought about largely by the efforts of a very talented man, Joseph H. Jenkins, who was the superintendent of the city schools and coach of the boys' basketball team. To grasp the picture of the Wonder Five, one would have to come to know how a great deal about Professor Jenkins, yet it is hard to describe him in mere words. And it went on to talk about he was a Baptist preacher, a graduate of Mercer University, and came back to his hometown and led in the old school over here is named for Jenkins School after him. I bring that up to say that your accomplishments, no matter where they take you, people are going to be talking about it. And it's going to be good. But it's not the end. It's just the beginning. And this is your ticket to greater things. And you will do well. You've already succeeded. You will continue to succeed. And I hope this is ushering in a season that is going to last longer than those 5 years. Let's make it double it. Y'all have the energy and you have the attention of the community. And to whom much is given, much is required. So what we require as a community is keep up the good work. Thank you.
All right.
Why don't we try to get a photo op of, take one of those and get Mr. Chairman, you present it to him. Come on, coach, you get your guys up. And principal, get everybody.
All us.
Y'all figure it out.
Roll your chair.
Tim, you got your camera?
Come on around here next time.
All right, tell them where to get.
I'll do my best.
Get that wide lens out.
I need to get up though. If I'm gonna present it.
Oh yeah, this ain't bad at all. Let me get back to work. Yes, sir. But I ain't
All right, Linda, you may have to direct.
All right, y'all ready?
Somebody gotta tell them what to do.
All right.
Wait.
There's a hole right here, right there. All right, fill the holes up.
Y'all let me know when you're ready.
Get on your toes.
Ready? All right, wait a minute, I'm gonna take one more. 3, 2. We got this.
You got one of them? All right, thank y'all, man. Congratulations.
All right.
Thank y'all. Thank you.
sir.
Thank
did
y'all
not.
for all your hard work.
Here's one for, should be enough for everybody. Coaches, everybody. If you run out, let me know and I'll get you. But it should be enough for everybody.
All right, thank you so much.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Hey.
All right. Great job. We appreciate this.
All right. Tell them it'll be a fee. You don't be a fee.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure they're anxious to get back to school.
I know. Gotta watch and make sure we don't Congratulations.
You hear that?
We don't have any business licenses and we don't have any vehicles for hire or taxis that are taxed in this town.
Okay, Mr. Chairman, then the next item on the agenda is Coach Van Bailey from Fullington Academy, with Coach Van Bailey and Assistant Chantel Coley. They're here on behalf of Fullington Academy. The girls basketball team recently made it to the final game of the Georgia Independent Athletic Association Class A Championship and just came up just a little bit short of state champion. That'll be next year. So Van and Chantel, y'all come on up. We got a proclamation for them as well.
Where's their team?
Unfortunately, it's career day, and our juniors and seniors had the opportunity to go do careers, and they got a day out of school.
Well,
So
bring them back when you can.
we will definitely do that. I apologize, they couldn't be here. They wanted to be here, I can assure you.
But got the commissioners, you also have a proclamation for y'all, and you want to say anything before you
Yeah.
do?
Again, we are, I don't care where you are. I don't care if it's rake ball. Anytime you make it to that level right there, that's doing something. You know, like I said, I've been in sports ever since I've been 12, 13 years old. So I can tell you I'm about 100 now, but I can tell you how tough it is. And you all always do a great job every year. You know, I don't care what sport it is, you all are real good. And say the last name is Coley. That last name sounds familiar right there. You ain't none of the girl that your dad used to come by the gym when I was coaching and saying, "Man, I got something for you." You know, but you was a little kid, you was a little girl then, you know. Yeah, and because he was a basketball, fanatic too. He used to follow my teams all the time when I was coaching. So you got to be that girl that he was talking about.
Did you learn everything in coaching from watching over here?
What was more nervous, playing in the state championship game or coaching in the state championship game?
You ain't got to tell me. And Tony been there because Tony done won it all.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Couple times.
Yeah.
But I thought she was a player.
She was. She was.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, but I thought she was a player now.
No.
Yes, sir. All right.
Lieutenant Coley, don't-
Yeah, that guy. Yeah, he used to come by the gym,
Yeah, okay, I got it.
bragging all the time
Yeah.
on him, man. I said, okay, yeah, you better not bring the dude the kind. That's all I tell you. Bring the dude the kind. I got something for you. Yeah.
Well, let's get another photo off here.
All right.
All right,
Y'all
yeah.
come around.
Yeah.
You got one more picture in there?
Good job, Coach.
My
My son goes there.
Yeah, he bragging on you all the time.
I need to tell him.
Don't let her get lost in the picture.
Yeah, don't cover her up now.
Come on, Miss Tim. Okay.
She the best looking one in the crowd.
Okay, ready? And I'm gonna take one more after that one. 3, 2, cheese. All right.
Again,
So much, hey, thank y'all very
All right,
much.
congratulations.
Hey, I appreciate
What
it,
was
thank
your,
y'all.
what was your daughter's name?
Skylar Bailey.
How my son?
Yeah, actually, she played.
You know, we do this,
last
we try to look
year,
up
and,
for all
she got
the
hurt
recognition that goes on to do the time. We want you all to
got
get it.
homesick, but she's kind of has some community. She just had to stay there another year. She got a red shirt last year, so she's still got another year. You covered it, and she's still got somebody else. Thank you so much. She's happy to be down there. Thank you. As a matter of fact, I got to go by this with her. Thank y'all so much.
Thank you, Coach.
See you, man. All right, let's get back to the agenda here.
I know she graduated.
Yeah,
college and coaching.
shoot, and I didn't know what had happened to him.
Y'all have a good one. Thank
All
y'all.
right.
All right.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Van. I'm sorry.
He's the brain. He's the talk about all the time.
I'm thinking-
You can't come in here with that. I got some beats in him. If she can play, we gonna know. Yes, sir.
Did he have another girl playing too?
Yeah, I
Turner
think.
County.
Yeah,
I went to a couple Turner County games. I saw.
yeah.
You wanna go ahead and talk to the sheriff?
Yeah, we can't.
Craig, you ready? Come on up.
The room sort of emptied out then.
How y'all this morning?
How you doing?
Sheriff.
Right, all right.
Did you win the sheriff's basketball league?
Did I get a prize?
Yeah.
They do
You get a building.
That
You
pale
get a
league.
building.
They do have that pale league, yeah.
He wishes he had time to participate in a league.
I wish I could watch one. Well, first of all, thank y'all. The building, we're moving in slowly. Thank y'all very much. We got a little bit more to go, but everything's working out perfect, so no problem there. But the reason I just wanted to touch base with y'all, to give y'all just a heads up of what I've requested for the city of Marianna. I still don't know anything. It's still in a holding pattern, and that's working on us pretty good. So I don't know what they voted on. I don't know what they brought to a vote. I just requested to be on the city meeting agenda Monday. And I'm gonna go over there just to tell them, my side of what I can provide and what I can't, and try to get a time frame of what's going on and when they're gonna bring something to a head. But I just want to keep y'all in the loop. I don't know if very much has changed, and it's working on us because, it's hard for me to get my guys to come in and work extra overtime while they're working their regular days. The call volume's triple having to answer calls in Vienna. So I'm just not in the know, and I'll support whatever the city wants to do, but y'all know my position. I gotta be there, and I'm gonna be there.
Right.
But I just don't know where we stand, and I'm just trying to go politely ask them to try to speed the process. So I just want to keep y'all in the loop. I'm going to the meeting Monday, and if somebody's got questions for me, I'll be there for whatever.
How long has this been going on? About 6 weeks? I know it's been going on longer than that, but how long have they been without a chief, effectively? What?
Exactly,
On
I don't know,
paper.
but it's probably been 6, 7 weeks.
Okay. And do they have anybody reporting for duty?
I understand they've got one officer, and I don't believe that officer works any overtime.
Okay.
I think she works a set schedule. That's the city's business, but it puts me in a bind.
Yeah.
And I just, and I'm, like I say, I'm not bad mouthing anybody. I just need the process to move forward.
Yeah, money. Yeah, somebody got to pay for them services.
Well, and we had already established, that we would send a bill
Yeah.
when my people came in, but getting my people to come in, for one, I'm a little shorthanded. Two, like I say, they're already worn out from triple call volume while they're working because of it. And it's not the citizens' fault, and it's not, it might not be anybody's fault, but somebody needs to just help move it forward quicker than it's going. So I just felt like, if I went to the meeting, there wouldn't be any more doubt. They can ask me whatever they want, any questions they've got for me, we can bring it to a head Monday. And I hadn't even been requested to show a contract. I just gave them a figure. And that was, it was a figure that I knew I wouldn't be over. But, I thought at one point they might want to see a contract, just a detail somewhat, but I don't want to go into that with that much effort if I'd be wasting my time, because it's going to take some time to pinpoint the exact amount. And you never really can pinpoint the exact amount, but I felt like I was safe coming in with the same amount that the city has now. And it would probably be less, but, I've never pushed to try to take it.
I've always supported what the city wanted to do, but I just wanted y'all to know my position on why I was going to the meeting. It wasn't to jump up and down. It was to say, give me some answers so I can relay to y'all so we can do something one way or the other, because it's not fair to the citizens, and we need to, I will help them do what they need to do, but we just gotta move in one direction or the other.
Well, you know, at this point, the city of Vienna needs to make a decision to either effectively defund their police and have no police department, fund their police department, or fund getting policing done. But they need to make a decision, because their indecision is a decision. And the only thing I can say is, after you've made this entree, then I think that this board has a vested interest in what goes on in the county. And at some point, we may have to ask them to come to the table with us to have an adult discussion in a joint meeting where everybody can be in public and not hiding behind closed doors on an executive session about what's really going on, and put them on the dime. I mean, I hate to be that forefront, but this is we're adults here. These are lives. I mean, there have been some serious crimes that have gone on in Vienna as a result of there being a lack of police presence. Lives have been lost. Lives have been hurt. And this is not something you play games with.
The banking industry and all the other businesses, I mean, I was under the impression that you had to have law enforcement in order for them to, to be in business. You know, you can't have nobody that show up 30 minutes after the bank been robbed, or 2 hours. You know, you sort of need somebody. I mean, that's what I always figured you thought, you know.
Well, people who have a negative voice enjoy chaos. And it's time that, as leaders in this community, and every one of you around this table are elected leaders, not just of your districts, but of the entire county. And everybody that's over there is of this whole city, because they don't have districts at all. It's time that the people hear this message. And that is, you were elected to serve. You were elected to protect the people. You were elected to uphold the Constitution of the state of Georgia and of the United States. And that is to provide police powers to protect the general welfare of the people and not promote a particular individual position of chaos and control. It's time it stops today. That's my opinion.
And it's like I say, you just, in the position we're all in, if we don't agree on something, we just can't kick the can down the road. Maybe we can if it's not as serious a matter as this. We just, and I don't know why I hadn't been to a meeting. I hadn't been requested to be to a meeting, and I know I can go anytime, but I just felt like now would be the time to get on the agenda just to address whatever that I know of. I have no issues with anybody on city council, or I get along fine with everybody. If there's a problem, I like to discuss it. Now, if I have to go to the meeting to find out if there is a problem, I'm just trying to do the best I can with what I got. And I can't hire anybody temporary to help cover the city, and then they get a chief in a full department within 3 months. What am I gonna do with the people I had to hire on extra?
That's the only thing I heard, like a 90-day contract. I mean,
Yeah, you can't.
grown people can't think like that. I mean, these officers have families.
But also, even I told them, I said, it was very important, even going into it, to understand, I can't even do a yearly contract with law enforcement. You can't hire somebody a year at a time. But what would be fair would be the term of a sheriff. A 4-year term. You can't ask for more.
That's state law.
Yeah.
I mean, the state constitution says that a sheriff serves for 4 years, and that's been the way since the state was set up. And that's because of that. That's been what takes time to establish a governance.
So
we're not here to quibble about that.
I just, I appreciate y'all's support, and I want to keep y'all in the loop. I just wanted y'all to know before I went to the meeting, I wasn't going over there to jump up and down. I'm just going over there to find out what's going on and anything, y'all might hear, whatever, you can let me know before the meeting. You know, I don't have to take up much of their time. I just want to be there so I can, I've heard things in the past about private meetings and there's never been such. So, anybody just got any questions, I'll be there for them. So, any suggestions, y'all got my number too, so. I just want to keep y'all in the loop.
Right. And I applaud you for coming here in a public setting and saying that, because that is exactly what I'm talking about with chaos and dissension. They want to talk and triangulate and split people against this and that. And we're talking about the good of the people and the safety of the people here. And, you've been above board and honest, and you've done exactly what you're supposed to do. And we expect that of everybody involved. I'm not saying anybody hasn't been, but let's keep it out there with the light of day of it. Nothing to hide.
Anything else about that? I got one other item I'd like just to mention to the sheriff while he's here. I think everybody's aware we're trying to locate a new EMS station in the Unadilla area. And we're currently looking at some property on Collins Road where the sheriff department has an annex building there already. Well, actually, there's 2 buildings there already. The single wide, you and I talked about it. That's really where Don would like to build the EMS. Would that be a problem? Okay, I just want to.
No,
I know we've already talked about it. I just want to touch base back with you one more time before we actually make a decision.
And I told him, in the beginning, anywhere up there is fine.
Okay.
I want to see it there. That'd be great.
Okay.
And all I got to do is just a couple of days, empty a little bit of what's in there, because it's just not, no running water, no
Right,
power,
it's just
anything.
storage.
It's just storage.
Yeah.
I can hook and move it, and they can start
Okay.
right there.
Okay.
That's perfectly fine.
Okay. I just want to make sure.
Yes, sir.
That's all I got, Mr. Chairman.
Anybody else? If not, we thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Sir.
Hey, let me, where's my mouse at? Oh, back it up. All right, you got a copy of the financial report for the end of March. That is, we're halfway through our fiscal year, so take that, look at it. Got any questions, we'll be glad to try to answer.
So we're pretty on target with everything, with all the departments.
Pretty much so right now. Item number 3, just information, we're still got a vacancy on the Board of Health. We'll keep that on there till a nominee, a candidate is found. Opioid lawsuit, I don't believe there's any updates on that, is there, Bert?
No, there was a deadline on the 18th, which we met. We're participating in the next round of those things.
Salary study, nothing new on that. Nothing new on Jalapa Road, still waiting to hear from DOT on potential funding. Number 7, did we receive applications for all of these positions?
We have received applications and I've closed them, we've closed them out. I've removed them from the newspaper.
So everybody's going through the process now, reviewing the applications.
Yes.
And
We've got multiple for each office.
Yes.
we'll keep y'all
We got
informed.
enough to interview, we'll put it like that.
Number 8, just a reminder, the River Valley Regional Commission has their annual legislative luncheon Wednesday, May the 24th in Americus. We'll keep that on the agenda in case somebody wants to go. Spring Hill Road, don't have an update on that. The Unadilla EMS station, I'll go to a little bit more. Oh, I thought we had a picture here. Give me just a second. I'll pull the map up and show y'all what I was talking to the sheriff about. My documents, file center, buildings, EMS, Collins Road, proposed site plan. All right, and that's 73B, 38A, okay. B 38A, 73B 38A. I didn't mean to do that. 73B 38A. All right, this is the parcel up in Yondella. Let me zoom out just a little bit. This is I-75 and Highway 41. Truck stops right here, and the freezer plant's right here. If you turn down Collins Road, UPS is there. The old sewing plant's there. This is the property the county owns right now. That the sheriff has a double wide with a carport, and this is the single wide we're talking about. It he just is currently using for storage. That's the general vicinity that Don would like the new EMS station to be built on. So we had originally to leave everything like it was. We were going to put the EMS station up here in front, but Don would like it to get it further away from the street traffic and stuff like that. So that's where we're going to proceed if that's okay with the board.
With that, will we be coming too close to the property line?
The setbacks are only 20 feet, and they said that wouldn't be a problem to accommodate the city's zoning setbacks. It will require, since this building here has just strictly been used for storage, there's no city sewage is available down the road, but it's uphill from this site. So there's a septic tank on this side of the property for this double wide. There'll have to be a septic tank put in for this if it's located there. That was an expense we did not anticipate.
But up by the road, it can connect to the city.
No,
it's all uphill.
Yeah, even if the city got sewage down here, it's still, this property slopes all down from the road.
So we don't have to go through that. You said for the setback, we don't have to advertise.
We'll be able to we'll be able to comply with the city setbacks.
It says it wasn't 24 feet, but it's 20 feet, huh?
20 feet setback.
And he's talking about county traffic. That's the reason we want to move back, because of the traffic on the road.
That's what Don said. But we need to finalize the site so we can go ahead and start getting things ready. So that's why I wanted to make sure it was okay with the sheriff if we did move it here. So is that okay? Does the board approve this site as the location for the new EMS building?
I ain't got no problem. Only they got one in Byronville. Y'all thought I had forgot him. I didn't say nothing. I sort of just been hanging around the table and waiting on them. We got the house and did all of that, and I've been complaining ever since the beginning of time about the one in Byronville. But I'm a team player though. And I know eventually one day we're gonna.
Byronville's gonna grow so big, we're gonna have to have one.
It'll grow with the ambulance service over there. Why?
So everybody's okay with this site? Okay. Hearing no objections.
Absolutely, sir.
Hearing no objections, we'll proceed on. Item number 11, the engineer for the city of Pinehurst is advertised. They're having the bid opening today for the installation of a sewage grinder up there in front of the Justice Center. The bid opening is 3:00 at Pinehurst City Hall. I plan to be there for the bid opening to see how that project's proceeding.
If it weren't for my birthday today, I would be there as well.
Oh my gosh.
Happy birthday.
Is that a plea for a happy birthday wish there or what?
Well, I don't know what I would rather do, celebrate my birthday or go to the bid opening on a sewage grinder.
Sewage grinder.
That'd be more appropriate.
Moving right along. All right. We've already took care of 12 and 13. Pinehurst voting precinct. Just give y'all a little history here. Back in 2019, the county moved the Pinehurst voting precinct from the old railroad depot in Pinehurst to the Millwood Masonic Lodge on Fullington Avenue. And initially it was a verbal agreement, and the county would pay $300 per election to the lodge for the use of the building. The lodge has they've requested a written agreement just for everybody, which should have been done to start with, but we didn't. So I forwarded and they prepared the agreement to be signed off on by the Board of Elections and the Board of Commissioners. And I think I sent a copy of the proposed agreement out with the agenda package to everyone. Basically, the only change was they were requesting, instead of $300 election, they're requesting $500 an election. Bernetta would like to explore the possibility of the county building a building just for elections in Pinehurst. She thinks it could possibly save money.
$1,000 a year. We know what we're fixing to spend on.
So the Board of Elections hasn't.
This is in the budget.
Hasn't signed off.
Living a long time, ain't she? Save money.
The Board of Elections hasn't signed off on this agreement. They got presented at their last meeting. They discussed it, but they didn't sign off on it. I would, a suggestion here. Without this agreement, we currently don't have a location for a voting precinct in Pinehurst if we had to have a special election for some reason or other.
Why did they not approve this agreement at their last meeting?
And I want to ask you a
What
question.
was the increase about? Why they went up? That you just,
That is, my understanding, the 300 back, it wasn't a flat thing. It was so much for.
It was different elections. There was
different numbers for different
prices.
elections.
That was the highest of the election. But
There's some rift going on between about some batteries or some equipment or something that kind of got everybody on their fences about it. We don't need to get into weeds on that. So everybody's taking their positions. They've raised their rates. She wants to move somewhere else. That's the bottom line. The thing is, I think just cut the chase is this: you're not paying anybody else anywhere to rent election space, but you don't have that situation anywhere else. But are there any other places that it can be done, such as a church or something like that would not charge? I think that's the question really for the Board of Elections, not for us. But I think when they ask us to build a building, that's come from Bernetta, not from the board, correct?
Correct.
Well, let me ask you, that building that the sheriff got, was there another building over there beside it, of the same color brick?
Yeah, we don't own that.
But somebody else
Michael Connor
bought
owns
that.
it.
Somebody else done bought that?
You think you would let us use it for free?
Nobody's gonna let you use anything for free.
I remember seeing one building over there, so
Where
You think you want to sell it?
No. Can't put it in a
The
school.
city of Lilly, that's, the board.
Well, where I was headed,
The city does.
I think we need to, my recommendation is sign the agreement so we'll have a place that we need it and look for another alternative location. This isn't we're not bound. This isn't we can always cancel the agreement.
Well, why can't you put it in a school?
What if you have a sex offender wanting to vote? They can't come on school.
Absentee vote. That
You
happens.
can't force them to absentee vote.
Listen, voting in schools takes place in almost every other community in Georgia.
I didn't think you could do that.
They do in Albany, they do in Atlanta, they do in Macon.
But how do you can't have somebody going to us.
All right, this is currently the
worried
Masonic Lodge building here in Pinehurst. That's the City Hall little building right next to it. This is the property that the county just acquired from the Industrial Development Authority.
Most sex offenders are convicted felons that don't have the right to vote.
Arizona section.
The other building that I was talking about, that was just.
Okay,
y'all
I'm
see
sorry,
that
I'm
was
sorry.
on the-
The other building, the building you're talking about is
That's it.
this
That's
building
Michael
right here.
Connors' office.
Click on that. Click on that. How much you paid for it? Go to report. I just wonder what you paid for it.
19.
19, okay.
19,000?
That what you paid for it? That what it's saying.
Well, in 19 years, you'd have it paid for. Not to mention the maintenance, the
You're
insurance.
not gonna sell that. That's a pretty little building.
Anyway,
Probably for 40.
do y'all just want to wait on the Board of Elections to make a recommendation, or what do y'all want to do?
I agree with what you said, but that's just me, So we'll have some in place.
I agree to initiate the contract. I think we're foolish to let a feud between them disrupt. I mean, people know where to go vote. You talk about $400 more a year. Why are we?
Every other year.
Why are we splitting? We're gonna let somebody's personal feelings get in the way of continuing where that precinct votes?
What's before us right now, to vote on it, or we're waiting on the board to ask us to vote on it?
I don't know why they didn't vote one way or the other on it the last meeting.
Can we send so we don't have anything to vote on today?
And we have the agreement. We could sign but commissioners could approve the agreement and notify the Board of Elections that, hey, we approve this agreement. We request y'all approve it. In the meantime, if y'all want to search for alternative locations, we're open for that. We're open for suggestions on that. But this would have us a place where we could conduct an election if we needed to have a special election. The Secretary of State's office has to approve any site when you change a voting precinct location. So that's a time-consuming process. So I'm just saying, if we had a need for a special election and we don't have this agreement signed, where we're going to hold a Pinehurst election?
Where did the $500 come from? Where did they come from?
The Masonic Lodge proposed that. They didn't want to own the building. That's what they said they would allow us to use their building for.
Why are we saying 300 if they want 500?
The initial agreement was $300. Now that we're going to a written agreement, they're asking for $500. The lodge is asking for $500.
See where they can make some more money. They taking it up.
Inflation, everything.
Inflation.
So Byronville, Lilly, and Van, they do that. I build. Nobody else charge anything for the buildings.
No, because all the other elections are held in county-owned
buildings.
properties.
So we don't have a county-owned building up there in Pinehurst.
You have the jail and
Well,
How big the city hall is?
Pinehurst City Hall wouldn't be big enough to hold a county election.
It can't hold a city election.
But again, I agree with
But I
what you
bet you
said.
$500 election, and we don't have elections every year. So you're talking about 2 elections, well, probably 3 elections every 2 years. Say you had 4 elections. Say 2 elections a year, that's $1,000. It's costing us more money to maintain that vote precinct in Byronville for $1,000
All right.
to maintain it.
Where do we vote in Byronville? Behind People's Propane?
That's right.
That building there?
But there, the city has offered to let us hold that. We could potentially sell that and hold elections in the
City Hall.
well, not the city hall, but the old
The library.
library,
Yeah, that's what I meant to say.
municipal building, whatever they call it up there.
Because they're not even meeting in the City Hall no more anyway. But again, yeah, but you're right. That's good logic what you said.
I mean,
yeah.
Wait a minute, that's
So
just
we move on to 500 or to 300?
But they want 500.
So that's what we're gonna say in the motion.
Yeah, I'll offer the motion.
Yeah, I second it.
I'll offer the motion that we approve and inform the Board of Elections that we'd like them to approve the agreement for the $500 to keep the voting precinct at Millwood Masonic Lodge.
I second, Mr. Chairman.
It has been motion and second. Do we have any discussion on it before we vote on it? Any more discussion? If not, all in favor by the show of hands, and that motion carries.
Chairman, let me get your signature on it so I don't forget it and have to call you back in. Board of Commissioners right there. Thank you.
All right.
Next item. Yes, it is. Need to request a brief, it should be a very brief executive session to discuss the request from the Board of Assessors for a personnel matter.
5 minutes.
Yeah, and we can wait till after we get through doing all the, yeah, it won't take me 5 minutes to do my part of it.
Yeah, well, I know how.
Okay, number 16 on Somerville Road. I sent y'all a copy of the last letter I'd gotten.
Yeah.
If y'all want me to respond, let me know how y'all want me to respond.
Well, let me ask you a question. I thought last time we had the meeting out there that Bob had agreed to get signed over the right of way. Is that what y'all talking? Cause I when I got there.
He said as long as he saw the lines,
Yeah. Okay.
he would agree to it. But their letters,
Yeah.
they're threatening to sue.
And see that.
I mean, that ain't,
Yeah.
you can't get into that.
No.
But if you buy a house on a dirt road, you're gonna take what comes on a dirt road. I mean,
Yeah, but they've been on that road probably when it was a pad.
yeah, I know, but I'm saying that
If we don't pay the road, they're gonna sue us.
Yeah, but I
Potentially.
think I could if we got that, because I already had said we're gonna try to
Medical
move forward on that,
bill.
and I know the people real well. You know, I think I can talk to them. I believe I can. I know I can talk to them. I don't know what the response might be, but I can talk with them. And see, they just frustrated. And my issue behind, I read the letter. Okay, the guy that's out there that lives on the road, you know, I guess he the younger out of all of them. But the other one, they only come down every now and then, you know. But still, they are used to the conveniences of the big city, and I know everybody want to pay a road. I mean, I was the same way too, but you just have to. I had to wait till it took forever and a day for us to get the road paid that we was on. So, and I know they've been there because they're 80 some years old, so they've been not on that dirt road that long. I mean, own that property. But again, I think I can. I probably can talk to them, providing we had the information saying that we can do something since we got the right of way from Mr. Jeter.
but when we get all the right of ways, they go on the list of roads to be paved that have all the right of ways. There's a list, my road's on that list.
Mm-hmm.
And we've had the right of ways.
Yeah.
So, I mean, they go to once you get all the right of ways, they go to the bottom of that list. I mean, I hear the letter of everybody pays taxes, but I pay taxes on my roads. Other dirt road livers,
Yeah.
they pay taxes
Well,
on their roads. Their letter, that was a little strong.
Yeah, it was.
Of,
It was a little strong. I agree, because I had
Well, and
mixed feelings about it too. But
Most folks that bring up the term suit,
mhm.
they're not interested in paying no attorney fees.
this is what caught my eye.
They don't know what literally goes into a suit sometimes.
That's not true right there.
Yeah. See, that's why I say I know I can talk with them. But the only thing about it, let me ask you this: since we hadn't paid the road, do the county still go out and do all the groundwork for the paving like they used to?
We haven't paid the road in years, so I don't know how I don't know if we would want to, back in the heyday, when we had 5 motor graders running
Mhm.
and 25 employees at the road department, we would go out there and do the initial site work, do the what do they call it, the initial grade, drain, and base the road, get the road ready to be paved ourselves.
Mhm.
But that was a long time consuming process.
I know it was. I
The
remember.
state had to come
Currently,
in and
with
do
only
that.
3 motor graders and only 2 motor grader operators, we don't have the equipment or the operators to
So
be
we had-
committing to do that work ourselves.
So we
I
had to
mean,
sub it out then.
we'd have to sub it out, which means that would make it even more expensive.
Okay, cause that road out there with Dennis them live. I know. Now who did that road? The one that Dennis come to out there. in your
Buck
business?
Oaks Road.
The Buck Oaks.
Who did the road?
Yeah, I know you weren't here, but who?
What do you mean, who did it?
I mean, did that? Cause that road was ready for paving, ain't it?
I don't know.
It's
But
just
wide
a-
as it is.
It's just an abnormally wide road. It's still gotta be prepped to be paved.
Okay. Terry them said they did.
I'm not, I don't
I
know.
can't- I can't
particulars
remember.
of it.
That road one day.
Yeah, it's right. I thought it was set up for paving. Well, then the only thing I'm trying to say is if we can get that going, at least how many other roads? You say your road,
I don't know the list of all the roads
yeah,
that are.
that are set up for with that. But I sort of been talking about this road here forever and a day. You know, before you even got here, I've been talking about this road. That we didn't get the right of way, but I've been for the last 2 terms. I've been here. I've been talking about this road. Yeah.
Well, all right, is that property, is it in a state or is it, could they give their right of way if we were ready to pave it tomorrow?
Everybody, all of them, I think, still living. I think they yeah. I don't
Parcel
think that
4023. Hold on a second. Let's
Yeah.
just go look and see.
I don't know what happened to one of them dying. All them children they got, but
4023.
At all.
Yeah, Bert, if that's the owner, et al.,
That means it's air
It's, I
property.
mean, yeah.
that means it's their property.
Mhm.
Could somebody sign a right-of-way deed on that today?
No.
What would be involved in getting a right-of-way deed for that?
They would need
How
to
many
run.
heirs they got?
They would have to run the estates, depending on where that went into Susie Davis. And if that was one generation back, and everybody's still living, then they get quick claim deeds. It's pretty easy. If it's beyond that, then the only real way to do it is to have a condemnation in which you put them on notice in the newspaper of all heirs. And that's a process. And then you've got to, nobody can then sign off on an agreement on the condemnation. So there'd have to be an expert hired to determine the amount of money. And it could be $1,200 or less. That would then have to be held in the court until no one ever claimed it. It would be a ridiculous process, but it can be done.
See, they're in a great, they've got paved road access. I mean, they could put a driveway to a paved road.
Some of them folks did.
Yeah. Mims Road is paved.
That'd be a pretty long driveway.
I mean, I'm just talking gravel. I'm not talking about pavement.
Yeah.
And it could be that it's just probating one will.
You see, they need to be told that. See, again, they brought that up about the area, about it being air property, and they need to.
Do these people? Are they related to the people that own this? Or
They're all sisters and brothers.
Okay, so, and this has been their family property for 100 years or
more.
Yeah. Okay. Well, it's never been probated property. There was a gentleman who's come here a couple times, and I've got him in touch with the Appleseed Project.
What's that? Dennis Buckholz they were talking about earlier.
Yeah. That's the only way to deal with it, is to get someone like that that's got time and a whole bunch of law students or paralegals that's willing to go and trace all that down, because it's a problem in a lot of places, and not just in rural areas, it's in the cities as well.
And Dennis's, their land is the only one on that road that is in our property. So he wants it done. I think I can get the right of ways on everything else, but his property is stopping.
Mhm. Okay, that Appleseed thing, that's something that Biden or whatever them was something similar to up in South Carolina or something.
It's out of South Carolina, but they've got a thing out of Athens, and I think they've got a branch. There's a group in Macon now that comes as far as Houston County to do it. And I met with them, and Hardy met with them, and we're trying to get them to come into Dooley County to expand their service area. And they've not given us a commitment on that. And that's completely unrelated to any of this. It's for legal services for people who aren't Georgia Legal Services. On Georgia Legal Services goes poor and twice poor, whatever that means, 200%. They go 300 to 400% of the poverty level. So they're working poor. And one of the things they specialize is in getting things like this done, because see, the working poor, so to speak, can't, or even a middle class person can't really find a lawyer that really wants to clean up this problem, because it's not cost effective to do it. It's very time consuming. And also when you get into it, you run into heirs that are, we've got them in every family. Well, what can I get out of this? And there ain't nothing to get. But my issue with Mr. Buckholz, not an issue with him, but just a concern. If his reason to pave the road is to build a better house, he needs to be doing that on the property anyway before he invests in any of his hard-earned money on that property, because otherwise these same ne'er-do-well people are going to be coming out of the woodwork wanting part of his house. You know, and that's his real issue. So it's to the landowner's benefit to get this right before they come to us.
And they just didn't know. I mean, I'm quite sure. I mean,
Right.
I know William. I know his brother. But now the other ones that actually wrote this letter, they from out of town.
Mm-hmm.
And they don't actually, live here. But I haven't talked with them in the past, and I think they don't know what's going on. And they don't even know about that right there, because I didn't know about the air property either. They need to be told so they'll know.
Right.
Yeah.
I think the way you get in that conversation is who's paying the taxes, and is it in the name of the person paying the taxes? And they go, well, no. Then what do you know about that? And they and they know about it.
Mm-hmm.
They just are acting like they don't. You know what I mean?
Right.
And when you see et al., which means and others, there's a
I sure
problem.
didn't know what that meant. I thought it was somebody's last name.
Yeah, this parcel right above there, Mr. Dave, this William Turner, is that family also?
That's one of the brothers.
Okay.
All it means when I see et al. Is there's too many to put on there. And that's always an expensive proposition or a headache.
Okay, and since you've been talking, that brings some else to mind, but but I will I talk with William and his brother, and so he can make contact. Really, I need to talk with him on the phone, so I probably could, since you might need to type me out a memo to then remind me some else. I need to.
Or we can talk to them together on the phone, however.
Yeah, and then so they'll better understand it, what they're up against. And they might want to go and do it because they're sort of old. I ain't just trying to say, they might die tomorrow, and try to get all this squared away before one of them
My
passes away.
experience with people who, over the past 27 years when we deal with their property things is as I look at them who all want to solve this, and I say, do you have a will? You trying to sell me a will? No. Do you have a will? Well, no. Well, why don't you begin with getting your house in order, get a will, so that this doesn't continue to the next generation?
Yeah.
Oh, and let's get everybody living have a will.
You're right about
And
that.
let's solve it. Let's solve it going forward, and then let's work backwards. And you know what? That ends the conversation 100% of the time.
And they mentioned getting a lawyer. A lawyer wouldn't touch that with a 10-foot pole.
Oh, geez.
And they end up making money, easy money.
Well, there's no legal.
But they better get the checkbook out.
Well, here's the thing:
Wow.
is the threat is a future event that has not occurred, Mr. Insurance. Really? And what you just did is you put on notice to the entire world that you're aware of what you perceive to be a problem, and you're continuing to do nothing about it. which means summary judgment. So I thank them for the letter of the threat.
All right, we'll move on.
But I've been working with them all along. I don't know why all of a sudden they decided to want to write a letter. I guess they felt like I wasn't moving fast enough. So,
Well,
that's what sort of got up under my skin. Now you want to take matters into your own hand. But then I don't say what I started to say.
people get mad at a situation, and then they start pointing at other people when they don't get what that anger goes everywhere else. They're mad at a situation that was created by generations in their family. They need to resolve that.
All right, moving on to item number 18, we got 3. Back
You
up.
17.
17 was the end of the original, just saying when the next meeting was, but I've added some items to it.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
17 is different on mine.
Okay, all right.
Different.
Yeah,
About the
we'll
gym.
get back. Okay, 7.
About the gutters, that's a different.
Yeah, I've added, it's down here.
Oh, you
I'm
put
sorry.
it in? Oh, okay. That's
Yeah,
fine.
it's on, I'm sorry.
No, that's fine.
It's been one of them weeks. We got 3 zoning requests that are going to the planning commission, and all 3 of them will just be going to the planning commission and not to here. But y'all have always wanted to be notified of any zoning requests coming. This first one, let me go back over here. It's for a variance. It's for property that's located up Highway 41 between Pinehurst and Unadilla. Charles Sermon's on the farm up there. He recently passed away. Now his daughter is evidently trying to do something with the farm. This is the farm. And it's, how many acres? 183 acres altogether. His house was back up here this is 41. His house is back up here almost next to the railroad. Evidently, I think she's wanting to cut out the house with a driveway out to 41. Our current zoning ordinance will require that driveway to be 150 feet, but the planning commission historically has allowed variances with a 50-foot driveway. So that's what she's requesting permission to be able to separate out, a couple acres with that house and a 50-foot driveway out to 41. Don't really see any issues with that. The next request, this will be, the planning commission will consider this at their next meeting, which is scheduled May the 8th. The planning commission meets the second Mondays of each month. If they have something come forward, if they don't have anything, they don't meet. The next request is parcel 4432A. 4432A. View the map. This is out Highway 90 between Vina and Byronville. This is Highway 90 right here. This is where Slosh Eye Trail crosses it. This current parcel of land here is 35 acres. There's somebody wanting to buy, I think like 5 acres of property right here, but that property has no road frontage. So they're proposing they're going to get an easement from this property owner, Mr. Hardy, and he's in agreement with it, supposedly, to get them an easement out to Highway 90.
Mm-hmm. They already put the sign out there?
It should,
I thought I saw a sign.
should be, yeah, these sites should already be posted, a sign posted on the site. Yeah, that's the location we're talking about.
Okay.
Now, to me, that's not near as good a situation. With the other one, whoever bought the house was going to own a 50-foot driveway out to the road. This one, they're going to own the 5 acres where they plan on building a house, but then their access is going to be an easement, not actually own it.
If I trust people that have that land.
But anyway, that goes for the planning commission. Then the third rezoning request is parcel 84-7. Search parcel 84-7. Is down on the very south end of the county, right on the Dooley-Chris County line, on Chris County Line Road. It's a parcel, it's a 65-acre parcel. It's got 1, 2, 3, 4 chicken houses on it. And evidently, these chicken houses were put there before the zoning ordinance went into effect, because our zoning ordinance, if you want to build a chicken house, you got to have a 1,500-foot setback all the way around it, which means you basically got to have about 200 acres to be able to put a chicken house in. But from what I understand, the state is requiring these people to put in they call them poultry stack houses. You care to guess what a poultry stack house is for?
Keep all the feathers.
Feathers and dead birds to compost them.
Another issue.
Maybe I didn't get them buzzers to wiggle the corn.
So they're requesting a variance of the setback for that.
Does that violate the zoning?
But they got to request a variance. That's what they,
Oh, for the 1,500-foot setback.
yeah. So that'll be interesting to see how the planning commission rules on that.
Do they have
That
one?
would set a precedent. That'd set a precedent of where I wouldn't need 200 acres for chicken houses.
Well, technically, you're not granting a variance for a chicken house, a live chicken house, just a dead
I'd
chicken.
rather have a live one.
Is that chicken houses beside it to the right?
And there's more chicken houses right there.
Do they already have one of those?
I don't know. I don't know.
Well, since it's already there, how in the world can you enforce? I'm just curious to see how, because they was already in existence.
Yeah, there's a lot of
Yeah.
extenuating circumstances for that. So.
Well, you could deny them to build the stack house, but the state's requiring them to. Then you go back to right to, what's that word you like to use? Isn't that right to farm?
He likes to use a bunch of words. Let's don't get down there. Anyway, that's all going to planning commission. Item 21, last meeting, we talked about the email from Mr. Swartz and something other. He's the guy that's the contractor. Actually met with him. Ronnie Hare and I met with him Monday or earlier this week, I don't remember what day, just to talk about what he might could do for Dooley County if we wanted to. Currently, Macon County, he is basically performing all the maintenance on dirt roads, scraping, the culvert replacements, everything. I would like to request a proposal for him for just dirt road maintenance for a section of the county, not the whole county. I didn't know if y'all would entertain that or not, so he's more than willing to give us a proposal. My thought was, when I first started working in the county, we had 5 motor graders. We have 3 motor graders now, 2 operators now. 1 operator threatening to leave about every other week. So what Rodney suggested, if we wanted to consider proposal, we reduce this down. This is a map of the county. If we split the county on Highway 41, just ignore this line here. This is Highway 90 going up. If we split the county and decide get a proposal from the fella, we're just doing dirt roads in this section.
West of 41.
West of Highway 41. And you see what it is.
Well, what are they doing up in Macon County? I mean, we should be able to use that. I mean, what are they doing up there and what are they charging and all that before? I mean,
well,
that'll give us.
Well, as I understand it, Macon County's got about 180 miles of dirt road. from what I was told, I think they're paying about $800,000 a year.
But they get more than,
But they're getting more service than what we're asking for, than what I want to ask for. We can still do our own pipes, put our pipes in.
he did some mowing over there too, didn't he?
I think they've asked for a proposal on some mowing he said Macon County's asking for a proposal for paved road maintenance, but I'm not ready to get into that yet. I just want to just a dirt road maintenance, scraping and doing the ditching. He said in Macon County, their agreement, they pull the ditches at least 2 times a year. They scrape the roads every 30 to 45 days.
Is what we're doing the same level or more?
No,
It's less.
less. So like I said, that was Rodney's suggestion. And that will be roughly, Dooley County's got approximately 240 miles of dirt road. Just initial running some numbers, west of Highway 41 is approximately half of that, approximately 120 miles of dirt road. It ain't gonna cost us nothing to get a proposal. Are y'all willing to get a proposal?
Exactly.
Is splitting it at Highway 41
Yes.
a good deal?
Because then we would have 2 motor graders. If you'd have 2 motor graders and 2 operators for half the county.
Well, hopefully we're
Well-
gonna have 3 motor graders and 3 operators at some point in
Right.
time, but that would lighten the load on our current situation. Okay.
Would we have, okay, I'm asking that. Would we have to have 3 motor graders and 3 operators for half the county? If you're getting serviced 120 miles, does it take 3 motor graders?
In theory, you shouldn't.
I should only need 2 and 2.
In theory.
Do our motor graders, are they going every day?
They're going.
2 of them are, yes, sir.
Every day, Monday through Thursday.
Yeah, Monday through Thursday.
Unless one of the operators is out for a reason.
I know in 6 years, we've never done these numbers. We've never done.
And actually, we learned something. They'll actually do some spraying along dirt roads to kind of keep the China berry bushes beat back. Also. And also, in Macon County, he says, they'll put their contract includes X number of tons of gravel available to put in some rough spots. He said up there, they have sections of road where they have some sure enough bad spots, but the whole road doesn't need some gravel, just certain spots on the road. And he said that has worked well. I called the Macon County administrator and just briefly talked to him about how satisfied he was he couldn't brag enough about the service. I would suggest if y'all see some of the Macon County commissioners, y'all talk to them and see what their opinion is. I think they have just finished their first full year. They expect to really see some benefits. From what I understood, their roads had gotten in some of their roads had gotten in really, really bad shape. So this guy basically took the whole year to get some of their roads back in real shape where it's easy now to maintain it.
Where's his home base?
He's actually, I think he is maybe lives in Macon County, but he does business. He's a contractor. He does business in Virginia, and Texas and some other states as well.
He tied in with them Northern Lights.
Yeah, I bought my trailer from one of
So,
Oh, Schwartz Trailer.
them. Then when I saw the name,
Manufacturing.
They all tied in together with the Northern Lights.
yeah.
he would come in wearing a cowboy hat, and I said,
Yeah.
midnight wearing a cowboy hat. All right, well,
Well, you know, that culture started changing. That's down there. Yeah.
Okay, we'll move on.
That'd be interesting.
Yeah, I mean, it ain't gonna cost them nothing to look at it. so.
Yeah, right.
All right, and then, Joseph Willis at the gymnasium, at the Williams Gymnasium here in Vienna. The current roof gutters are all rusted out, not functioning properly, and they're having issues with the water that's coming off the roof, making its way up under the basketball court and causing problems. So he's wanting to get new roof gutters put on there. So they've taken bids, and the low bid is from a place out of Warner Robins called Gutter Guys, and for $11,132. The type of gutter, if that means anything to you, is a 6-inch K-style aluminum gutter that supposedly won't rust out. So that's Joseph's request, is that to be spent out of the rec splosh money.
That's to go down to two sides.
But they're actually, let's see here.
Two sides.
Where the other side is at?
I think they got more.
You let
I think
that
they
moisture
push-
get up under that gym floor, you got heat more.
Oh, they definitely need the gutter.
Yeah, they're going down both sides and
Okay.
and the front where it sheds off on the front.
Yeah, cause see, I mean, you don't put them on there going up in here.
But
Yeah.
it was ruining the mortar and the bricks on the big sides. You were missing whole pieces down between those windows. And that water was just running down the brick.
So is there a motion to approve that or
I'll offer the motion, you said it's coming from splash funds.
rec splosh?
I said.
There have been motion and second. Do we have any other discussion on it?
What's their, balance and splash? Can you pull it up right quick?
Can I borrow yours?
37.
37.
Go to page 3 in the financial report.
37,485.
No, page 4, I'm sorry, page 4. Yep, 37,485.
That's all I had.
Yeah, just remind you, y'all have requested any splosh expenditures other than out of the road fund come through here and be approved. That's why I'm bringing it for y'all, just so y'all can be informed of what's going on with splosh money. All right. The only other item I have.
We hadn't voted on it
Oh, I'm
yet.
sorry.
All in favor by the show of hands? Okay, that motion carries.
I'd already checked it off, I'm sorry. The only other thing is a brief executive session, Mr. Chairman.
Before we do that, I forgot. The Lily, that little section that was, that's real bad. Did we fill in that or somebody else?
Rodney said somebody with the city asked assistance from the county. He asked me, I said, yes, go up there and do what you can to get the worst of them patched a little bit.
Okay. I just need, I need to know. Then I want you to write, cause I'm gonna go to that city council meeting. I joke with this tell lies all the time, so I'm gonna have to get with you on.
You going to one in Lily?
I might need to take the sheriff's department with I go. I might have to take them with, but yeah, I want to get all the load out, about, that, the money that they receive and all that kind of stuff, so.
And just on that same line, all right, Rodney is talking to the contractor that's doing our last year LMIG and this year LMIG is the same contractor.
Mhm.
It's the same contractor that was that was for the Lily's, City of Lily's
Mhm.
West Road project. They're starting to make plans on doing it. And Rodney, it's my understanding, has asked the contractor to please kind of put West Road on top of the list to get it done as quickly as possible.
See, that's what I need to know. So when I go, I can sort of present that along.
Even though that really is nothing to do with us.
You exactly right.
Free grant.
So it already been, but they want to sort of put the blame on me.
Yeah.
They got their own government.
Yeah.
I don't have nothing to do with it. But again, so sometimes you have to just present stuff to folk with facts.
Right.
But when you assume, well, you can really mess up. So I said I was gonna get with you, and because see, this should have been done a year ago.
The West Road was scheduled to be done last year, but like I said,
Uh-huh.
our last year projects didn't get done either.
Right. So
So they got bumped back to this year due to COVID. Supposedly.
I tell you, if you want to appreciate pothole patching our guys do,
Mhm.
leave that traffic light and go out yonder the interstate and look at that bubble
That's
gum
a
work
mess
that
there.
DOT has done. That's the state of Georgia, my friend. That's the biggest mess you've ever seen. You could have sent the eighth grade out there and done better than that.
Could have sent Tony and Tim out there to do a
That
better
was-
job.
I know I wouldn't know what I'm doing.
And it's still been better than what they
Mr.
did.
Johnny
Yeah,
Bull,
yeah,
W.
I
Lair,
mean,
he's like being
yes,
bad out
yeah.
I'd be bending his ear now.
Yeah. And they did, I could tell the difference. There's a couple of holes, I think they saw them miss, but they was a small hole, but now you don't have to ride on the grass when you go past get into the city limit. But everybody knows.
And we could have said, no, that's the city's responsibility. But I said, there ain't no sense in that. Let's just.
Yeah, because I had mentioned it to you once before. But again, okay. That's all I had on that. And I get together with you on that when they have their meeting so I can go and present that to them. All right.
Need a motion for executive session. Mr. Chairman, I move we go into executive session.
A second.
It is the motion and second that we gonna go to executive session for
Brief personnel matter.
Brief personnel.
brief personnel. All in favor by the show of hands.
Conference will now be recorded.
3:00.
Let it to
Make a motion, we approve the minutes of executive session as read in executive session.
I said.
Okay, it has been motion and second. All in favor by the show of hands. That carries.
Do we need to do anything with that? We don't? Mr. Chairman, I make a motion.
But I told her had put the biggest smile on his face when it come to here.
Ain't no second?
I guess they want to leave.
Okay, the motion and second. All in favor, please stand up and lift.
Amen.